This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Before taking any action based on the information provided on this channel, it is recommended that you seek the advice of a professional licensed financial advisor.
Let's do this.
Okay, looking in the daily chart here for Pirate, we are starting, or we're in a green upward broadening wedge here that began on June 18th. And, you can see that we were in this upward red channel, ascending red channel, which we bounced 4 times and then out, as tends to be the patterns, 4 times and out. And then we transitioned into this white one, which is hit, 4, and then breakout. And now we're trying to figure out, obviously, what exactly is going on since we broke out of this on August 8th. This is a zoomed out view on the 1 hour. I say zoomed out because you can't really even make out the candles at this point because of the Ichimoku cloud. But this is the white downward narrowing channel. Sorry about that. Downward narrowing channel that I was talking about. And if you're then trying to figure out, what the heck is happening here? Do we have an upward channel forming this way? Is this going to indicate the beginning of a new ascending one that's going to take us back into the broader green channel? I don't think so. In fact, not only is the green upward broadening channel indicating we're supposed to break out here, but as a general rule, when you're in these longer time frame channels or wedges, triangles, whatever you want to call them, you'll come down, you'll hit the border here of this lower part of the channel, and then it'll bounce up and maybe even challenge it a few times before it breaks out, because this is acting as support. But in my experience, it's been inevitable that it breaks down. So it's far more likely that you're going to do something like this, where you move this one up, and this becomes the first hit, second hit, third hit, so this doesn't count. So then you'd actually have to transition this down further, possibly even way down like this, depending on what happens. So you'd have your first hit, second hit, third hit, fourth hit, and then it would work its way back up. But we'll know more, obviously, as that plays out. On the 4 hour, we've got the green having broken below the red, which tends to lead to the green scooping the candles up. So the mouth will actually open like this, and then they'll come into the mouth, as I've called it. But on the higher time frames, like the 8 hour, you're still very much above. And the 12 hour is actually just neutral. The green and the red have merged and they're going sideways. So we have a lot of just consolidation that's occurring. So we could be looking at, something like this in the short term before you actually get that breakdown out of the green. And like we always have to do when we're looking at altcoins, we have to take into consideration what's happening with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is in a very similar pattern like the green upward broadening wedge here. And as I switch over here onto Bitcoin, you can see that I've got a similar thing drawn, but it's yellow instead of green. And all of these are indicating bearish signals. So we've got an upward broadening wedge, which breaks down. That's the yellow. We've got an upward narrowing wedge, which breaks down, being another bearish signal. And pretty much since here, we've been working our way down. It's just been, we've got a zig and then a zag, a zig and a zag, a zig, and it's just working its way to come out. And you can see a corresponding similarity in the RSI. This is on the daily chart of the RSI. We've got this bounce back and forth, and it's just doing this before it's going to go over the edge, just like it did back here on the last run. And here it is on the daily on Pirate. You can see similar, bounce back and forth here between them. But you'll notice actually that if this is the first, why wasn't the first on the lower? Because this would be where it actually changed directions. So if we count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, then we got this little bounce before we go over, it's actually more likely that this is the lower wedge. 26% from what I can tell, which would be represented here by the green line from here to here, which is approximately there. Then when we move that green line over to here, that is going to show you just how far down this is going to come. Now, there isn't a one-to-one ratio between RSI and price. So this isn't an exact science, but it's a general idea. You know, it may only travel, say, this far and go as far as this or further. So just because this is shorter doesn't mean the price reflection difference isn't going to be larger. But my point by showing you this is just that if I'm right, and this in fact is wrong, albeit it actually is resistance, because this one and this one fall along this line, hence the little bounce here. So even though this is resistance, it's not the ultimate resistance, which is waiting for it down here. Or actually, I'm sorry, not resistance, support. This is supporting it. So as it comes down here, it'll be supported again. So you might come down in this fashion, like a little bounce here, boom, and then a little bounce here before you break down. Now this breakdown I don't think is going to be very big. I think it's probably going to correspond somewhere in here. You know, it could be a little bit lower, more in here, which I think is that. So if we take the line and we draw it and right to the beginning, we're talking 17.891. If we come a little bit lower, we might be hitting, 13 on the RSI on the daily. And you'll notice it looks like our lowest RSI was back here at, I moved that instead of circled it, my apologies, at about 1835. Is that correct? No, 1640. So it either is going to set a new low over here and break that 1640 line as it comes down, or it will, stop above the all-time low we had back here. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted as things develop. If you like what you're seeing here, please subscribe to the channel. And I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, and Telegram, which are all in my description below. And if you have any coins that you're following that you're not getting enough love on YouTube and you want to have a breakdown of where it's been, where it's going, and so on, I'll be happy to do a technical analysis for you as well. I know this is a little bit longer, but I haven't done a pirate one in a while, so I just wanted to get this up, and I'll try to get more on the dailies. A little bit about me in 10 seconds or less is I've been doing this for about 2.5 years, and I've been kicking these things out to all my friends and so on, but I haven't actually created a YouTube channel. So now I'm working on developing a YouTube channel. I mean, it's up and running, obviously, but kind of working out the microphones and the technical side of it and getting things posted as quickly as possible and how to create thumbnails on a mobile phone. So while I'm out and about, I can stay on top of the market and get it out to you as soon as possible. All that stuff I'm working on, so please bear with me as I go through the growing pains here. But if I wait for a perfect time to start, I'll never start. You know what I mean? Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.